First, we at WagerTalk would like to thank everyone as a record number of you took advantage of our Thanksgiving 7-day special. We hope you enjoyed the convenience of getting your favorite handicappers plays daily during the hectic holiday weekend, and we also know that December can be a crazy month. Now we are offering a rest of calendar year special. Get every NFL, college bowl game, NBA, NHL, college basketball games, and all other sports of your favorite handicapper through December 31st for only $249. The early bird really does catch a worm for this special as it starts the day you sign up. No coupon needed. Pay only $249 today or pay $249 in a few days. The choice is simple. Let's have a great ending to 2021.
Hey guys, welcome in and happy Thursday to you. Time to talk a little NBA here on the NBA Tip-Off Show powered by WagerTalk.com. It's a short card here tonight, 5 games, but some intriguing matchups and situations here. We're going to see if we can't find a couple of edges for you. And we bring in, yes, here they are, the Thursday crew. Good to have Teddy Covers back in the house with us, as well as Skee Profit and Rob Veno here to talk about some NBA action tonight. And Skee, good to see you again here, my friend. Talk to us. What do you got going on at WagerTalk.com tonight?
Well, I've made a few plays, but I didn't put anything up. Since I last talked to you, last time I talked to you, I had a lot to brag about the first day. I'll start the week 4-0, but last 2 days haven't been so great. So I'm trying to get back on the right track today.
All right. It's a marathon, not a sprint, Skee. We all know that. Knicks first half. All right, Teddy, talk to us here, my man. Teddy Covers, Wager Talk, and sportsmemo.com. You can get them. Continuing to run hot there, Teddy. Listen, your card is loaded here this weekend. What do you got in the association? Anything?
I've got one play up for tonight, but don't buy it. We'll give it out on the show before all is said and done, I would anticipate. And, of course, we are locked and loaded with a huge weekend of football action, including a 5% big ticket play for the SEC Championship game. You can get all that right now over at WagerTalk and or sportsmemo.com.
Yeah, guys, keep in mind, too, the what you just saw there, $249, the end-of-year special includes all 5% best bets. So till the end of the month, every play from your favorite handicapper, all sports, every play, including the 5% best bets, $249. Take advantage of that, guys, heading into championship weekend. Rob Veno, what is going on, my friend? Feel like it's been 2 days since we last saw you. So what's going on? What do you got going on in the association tonight?
Yeah, I'll say this. Since Skee wanted to report in on what he did the last time he was on the show, I'll do the same. Last time I was on the show, I was giving out some horrible information on how Toronto and Memphis should be a real good first half overplay because they're playing to that trend. That ended quickly when they played each other the other night, and I don't think they broke 100 points in the first half. So those things happen. But last night was great for me in the NBA, guys. 5-1 on that card last night. What stopped me was I had Denver, Orlando under the total. I guess getting Cole Anthony back was just enough to send that thing up and over. But otherwise, it would have been a spotless night. So look forward to today. Only have one play in the NBA today. These Thursday cards, it seems like every time we come on Thursday, the card just is not very appealing, to me at least. But I do have a 4% best bet in college football up and loaded with a 5% coming this evening. So go ahead and check it out, wagertalk.com.
All right, good stuff there, guys. Love it. All right, let's dive in here to our contrarian play of the day here. And we are going to head out to Portland, and we're going to take the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Portland Trailblazers. Now, listen, we get it. If you have backed the Trailblazers at home and faded their ass on the road, you are probably not watching this because you're retired. But the reality is, let's be realistic here. The Portland Trailblazers certainly have their issues. Lillard's abdominal injury could absolutely keep them on the sideline here again tonight. And San Antonio, for all their faults, Skee, you want to give them 5 points here in this spot against Portland? What do you think of this matchup tonight?
I think I would agree with the contrarian play and take the Spurs. I mean, they've won 2 in a row, and they reversed decent opponents who are also playing well lately in Washington and Boston. So, I'm a believer in what they're doing right now. Portland, yes, they're missing Lillard, and if Powell's out, that's a big blow too. But even with those guys or whoever they have out there, they're not playing any defense, and you're gonna ask them to lay 5 points or a couple possessions with a team who doesn't play defense. I would be taking the Spurs, who've shown they can hang with a couple good teams the last couple. So Spurs plus 4.5 or 5, whatever it is for me.
All right, there you go. I mean, Teddy, listen, it's actually been a nice stretch for San Antonio. 3-1 against the number. I'm looking at Washington, Boston, Phoenix. The defense is playing better, and maybe Pop is starting to get through to some of these younger guys. What do you think?
They're a flawed team. I mean, the San Antonio certainly doesn't. I mean, when you talk about what DeMar DeRozan meant for that squad, he was their go-to guy down the stretch of close games. And this year, they really haven't had a go-to guy down the stretch of close games. That's why they've been consistently losing those close games, and why they're on the sub 500 team as we speak. They haven't been good in the road dog roll, back-to-back wins at home against a couple of decent teams, but San Antonio win streaks, few and far between. Blazers, look, I'm really trying not to overthink things. So that's my biggest weakness in the NBA is I think about it too much. Portland's a really easy team to handicap. You bet on them every home game. You bet against them every road game. And until they show otherwise, that's the way to play the Blazers. All right, no Lillard. Maybe not Paul. Although I wouldn't be surprised if he plays. I was reading some stuff this morning to say that he may well be able to shoot up tonight, but they just won by 18 on this floor without him the other night. May well be able to do it again here, so I will not go. You talked me into the contrarian yesterday, Joe. Didn't do us any good with Minnesota at Washington. I'm not getting talked to the contrarian here. Blazers are passed for this bet.
That play was amazing for 3.5 quarters. You got to be kidding me. 3.5 quarters. We were kidding, and then all of a sudden we weren't there. All right, no San Antonio for Teddy Covers. So Rob Veno, I'll send it to you. Obviously, maybe if we know if Lillard don't go, they do have some depth issues. There are some injuries there. I do believe. What is it? Is it Vassell and McDermott? I believe are back for San Antonio, and they seem to be coming together, yet flawed. Are you willing to take the 4.5, 5 points tonight?
First thing, Joe, stop talking people into the contrarian play, damn it. We don't need any more. We don't need any more of that. I could build real good cases here for San Antonio and for over in this game. The problem is when you get to the ATS numbers, you guys already commented on Portland as a home side, but San Antonio as a road total is just as strong, if not stronger. 7-1-1 to the under on the road. The point differential between points scored at home and points scored on the road for San Antonio games is crazy. 225 average at home, 205 average on the road. 20 points difference. The Spurs barely make it to 100 on the road. So, I'm never against smashing my head into one of these trends and trying to make it work. I do think that I would probably like the San Antonio side here for some of the reasons you guys mentioned. And Teddy talked about the 18-point win by Portland the other night without Damian Lillard. It was against the Pistons. Again, the Pistons walked out there and shot miserably, 38% from the floor. They still continue to be the worst shooting team in the NBA, only 40.5% per game. But in that game, Portland didn't change their stripes, really. They put up 96 shots. It tells me that there's going to be pace. San Antonio happens to be the 6th best field goal percentage shooting team in the league. So if Portland's going to play no defense, San Antonio can shoot. One of their starters is back. Joe, you mentioned McDermott. One of their bench guys is back, Devin Vassell. Or Vassell. So I don't know. I could see both sides. I'm going to ride with the contrarian gods tonight, though. I'll walk right into this 9-1 or 9-2 Portland ATS home number and say San Antonio plus the points, right way to go.
Yeah, not going to be a lot of pace in this one, I don't think there. So to your point with the under as well, there might be worth a look. But the contrarian side, guys, Spurs defying the odds heading into Portland, take the points against the Trailblazers. And we are going to move to Madison Square Garden. Not getting any better than this. The Garden on a Thursday night. Bulls-Knicks round 3 in this one. As 2 points is what Chicago is as a favorite in the Garden. The total opened at 213.5. And Teddy, listen, we've seen this movie twice already this year, but they were in the Windy City. They were in Chicago, and it took these crazy fourth quarter comebacks for Chicago to pull it out. Burks in the starting lineup. Were you impressed enough with what you saw against Brooklyn a couple of nights ago with this Knicks team to want to back them?
Not necessarily. No, I mean, look, I continue to think that the Bulls are the better of these two teams. And the first two meetings, both, it doesn't get a whole lot closer ATS. The Knicks were 1-point dogs that won by 1, and Chicago was a 5.5-point favorite. They won by 6. Total-wise, right down to the wire on that. The 109-103 last time out, total was 213, stayed under by a bucket. Although it is worth noting that these two teams have consistently played under of late, the tune of 5 straight unders since the start of last season. So that certainly may be a way to look in this one. I have a little bit of concern here betting against the Knicks in a game after the Nets. Look, we see it happen all the time in the NBA. Team comes up just short, and they come out the next game, and they find a way to get the W. And with Julius Randle complaining about the foul calls, probably legitimately so. Maybe he gets a whistle or two this time around that could put things in the Knicks' favor. But, I'm asked about the transition of Burks at point guard, and it's not like he's a guy that hasn't gotten playing time. It's not like the Knicks have been awful offensively the last couple of games. They're 2-0 ATS since he took over the role. That said, I think the Bulls defensively are a little bit better than Brooklyn and Atlanta right now, and that could give the Knicks trouble here. Lean Chicago in this one.
All right, lean in Chicago there. If we take a look, I think, at the injury report, the Knicks, for the most part, outside of R.J. Barrett, I believe Mitchell Robinson and company are a go here tonight. Questionable still for R.J. Barrett. They certainly could have used his defense against Brooklyn there. And as you can see, Kobe White in the COVID protocol and Patrick Williams still out here. So, Rob, Veno, what do you think here? Did you see any positive signs from the Knicks there against Brooklyn that would make you want to back him here?
Yeah, it was interesting, Joe. I mean, the reason why Kemba Walker doesn't play anymore and he's out of that rotation is because he just doesn't play defense. He was actually the high scorer for the Knicks when they played Chicago back on the 28th of October, had 21 points, 5 of 6 from 3-point range. His offense never been in question, but just doesn't play enough defense for Tom Thibodeau, who's trying to turn this into more of a defensive team. The Knicks bench has been a factor in both of these games. The most recent game, they outscored Chicago's bench 45-32, but part of that bench now, Alec Burks, as you guys said, is in the starting lineup. He walks out there the other night and scores 25, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. So perhaps it's a pretty good move. It's interesting, this R.J. Barrett situation. I don't know if any of you guys know if he's going or not. I saw him as questionable mid-afternoon. He went out of that game the other night with he only played 8 minutes, I think. And as soon as that happened, Joe, it's interesting because the Knicks, when they come off the bench, they got 2 guards and 2 bigs. And Thibodeau at that point against Brooklyn's got a decision. Do I go with my small lineup or do I go with Obi Toppin and maybe Nerlens Noel and go big because Brooklyn is a small team? And he decided to go small with Brooklyn. That game, I had under in the first half because the Knicks had been on a 10-1 run under the total in the first half. And that game was never close to going under in the first half. There was a lot of pace in that game. There was a lot of made shots. Brings us to this game where Billy Donovan told us from the very beginning of the season, I've got a small team. We're going to have to be creative, finding ways to play defense. And right now, if they go small and the Knicks choose to go small again, and hey, listen, Emmanuel Quickly played 37 and a half minutes the other night, and Derrick Rose, his first game back, played almost 35. if the Knicks go to match them small for small, we could see an over here. I don't know. Thibodeau did it the other night against Brooklyn, somewhat surprising. So I don't know why he wouldn't do it against this team. But that's something to look out for here. I think they choose to go small. I think the game probably gets over. This game was pushed way down totals-wise immediately overnight and this morning because Zach LaVine was in question. He's not in question anymore. He's going to play. I think I'd look over in this contest.
Yeah, Caruso also for Chicago still listed as questionable in this one. Skee, obviously the market has a ton of respect for Chicago. They are a favorite on the road here at the Garden. Do you think they should be a favorite? Is this a little bit closer than that?
I just have to double check. I don't see Caruso questionable. I think the injury. I think it's just Kobe White and Williams. So I think they're all right. What stood out to me about what was said, with Julius Randle, everybody's complaining for foul calls. I get it, though. I understand. A lot of the star players out here are complaining about not getting foul calls because they're used to getting a lot more. So we'll see if it benefits them tonight. And I'm always, I'm not going to try to talk anybody out of trying to find good home dogs, but, all year long, Bulls have done nothing but just prove themselves, no matter who they face. They're 5-1 as a road favorite, and I just look into the simple situations what we have today. A road favorite, one with more rest than their opponent. Bulls off 2 days, Knicks off 1. Since 1995, these road favorites with more rest win 67% of the time. And the spread is only 2. It was 1.5 earlier. Could have got the money line at -120, which I did. So go Bulls tonight.
All right, taking the Bulls to get it done. Love it. Lay that too at the Garden. All right, then let's take a look at a total in our overtime matchup here. And interesting, Teddy and I, before the show, were talking about this team last night. What an entertaining game watching the Bucks and Charlotte Hornets score 300 points. But it was now all of a sudden you have the Milwaukee Bucks in a situation here in a back-to-back, and they're playing the Toronto Raptors here. And it opened at 213.5, and we've seen the money come in towards Toronto here. Towards the over in Toronto. So what gives here? We're not expecting a lot of defense from Toronto. Are we, Rob Veno? Is this a over or not for you?
Well, the way Milwaukee's shooting the basketball right now, you could almost assure yourself that they're going to get theirs. The question becomes Toronto, again, without OG Anunoby, their offense has been pretty stagnant. I think they're 2-5 ATS over the last 7. The defense hasn't been good. I know Skee keeps last 5 games numbers. I don't think Toronto's defense has been very good last 5. I think I saw them giving up 109 or better in 6 of their last 7. So you match those two together, you get points for Milwaukee. Milwaukee, do they suffer a little bit playing back-to-backs here and not go as hard on defense? It's possible. It's possible. I'm always leery of the Bucks in these back-to-backs, like 5 minutes before game time, Chris Middleton rest or Giannis rest. So it's scary to bet Bucks back-to-back games early in the day. But if everybody goes, I would have to believe it goes over, Joe, and I would go back to the well with first half over in this one. Toronto, as I pointed out the other day, had been on a 10-2 run over in the first half. It went to 10-3 when they didn't get there with Memphis the other night. But Milwaukee always plays with pace. I don't think Toronto even knows what they are. They seem to play to the opponent. If you want to go fast, we'll go fast. If you want to go slow, we'll go slow. So I'll say Toronto goes with them. And I'd probably try first half over. I think it's somewhere in the vicinity of 10. What did I see? I'll look now just to make sure we get a good number here for first half. I see 105, Joe. 105
yeah.
is awfully low to me for a Milwaukee game. So maybe that's the way I'd look, thinking that Milwaukee has legs enough for the first half.
All right. Thinks they got enough to get it done in the first half. What do you think here, Skee? Is it an over or not spot for you?
Yeah, that's a nice number that Rob Veno pointed out there in the first half. It's going to come down to, kind of what he mentioned there. Are they going to keep guys out because it's the back-to-back? Like we'll see some of these late announcements or if everybody's going to be in there. Because if everybody's in there, Milwaukee's playing with pace and they're scoring on everybody. And for the Toronto side, just like Ravino mentioned, they're the 24th defensive rated team over the last 5 games, and they're bottom 5 defending the 3 on the season. So we're not seeing any defense from Toronto. And if I have to play it, it would be the over.
So, Teddy, if you're going to look at the under in this situation, it's probably because you don't think Toronto's got enough firepower offensively to get it done. So you'd look a little the other way then.
Bing, bing, exactly. I mean, we did the college football show about an hour ago, Joe, and we were talking about Michigan, Iowa, and I'm like, the spot's right for Iowa. I just can't figure out how the Hawkeyes are going to score. You can make the same argument here. Yeah, the spot's right for Toronto, but I can't figure out how the Raptors are going to score. This is not a good offensive team without a newbie right now. We've seen them held under 100 each of their last 3 ball games. The shots, if you've been watching them, the shot selection isn't good. The turnovers are up. And teams are focusing on getting the ball out of Van Vliet's hands. The Grizzlies did a really good job of that the other night. And without a newbie on the floor, when the ball's not in Van Vliet's hands, very little good is happening for the Raptors. So now the Bucks won't have Cousins tonight. Remember, they signed Cousins. He played yesterday. He's not going to play on the second of back-to-backs here. Obviously, they still don't have Lopez. So that leaves them with perhaps, Bobby Portis, I'm not going to call him a gaping hole in the low post, but it's not the same level of low post defense that Milwaukee tends to have, which could be a concern here for underbettors. But this is not a Raptors team that I trust right now to put the biscuit in the basket, and that's going to keep me off the over in this game.
All right, there you go. Looking at the under in here, where the point's going to come from here. Seems to be a theme in a couple of these shows here today, guys. And that leaves us, of course, to figure out who's barking here tonight. Where are the dogs, Robert? Let's hear it, man.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
Yeah, there they are. The dogs are barking tonight. Let's take a look, see what we got. The Knicks in the Garden as a home dog +2. Raptors 4.5. The Thunder on a back-to-back here getting 9.5. What else is new? Detroit Pistons getting a dozen. And we talked about the Spurs a little earlier, getting 5. So, Skee, I'm coming to you. Which one of these would you make your dog tonight?
Yeah, I'm rocking with you, Joe. If you're gonna give me the 5 points, I'll take it. But I think they could win on the money line with the +170. You have the more healthy team playing a little bit better right now, in my opinion, versus the better teams, and the more rested team. Give me the Spurs.
All right, the Spurs barking right now with Skee. And Teddy, which one of these dogs you gonna make your own tonight?
I want to see that graphic one more time. Is that Glenn Robinson up in the
damn
corner
straight
up there?
Throw it up there for
that guy in years and years. What a player at Purdue. The big dog, Glenn Robinson.
Look at that. Yeah,
there's the big dog.
So I'm going to look at, in terms of spot plays, this is about as obvious a spot as you'll ever find. All right. We have the Suns coming off, they're what, 17 in a row, 100 in a row, doesn't matter how many Phoenix has won. In the middle of a huge winning streak, coming off as big a win as they've had at any point during that streak. And oh, by the way, they've got a rematch against the Warriors. Not over the weekend, tomorrow on the second of back-to-back. So this is, if ever there's a game that the Phoenix Suns are going to look past, a Pistons team that's lost 7 in a row is that squad. No Devin Booker for Phoenix. I know the Pistons stink. I'm not looking for spots to get my money on the Detroit Pistons. But they have been competitive. Dwayne Casey has them playing hard just about every night. They covered 4 of their last 6. I think they cover here. 12 points is too many. Not a money line play. I don't want the +545 on the Pistons. But I'll take the +12. Detroit hanging around in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Catch that night, Teddy.
Yeah. Catch that falling night. No, this is what our good friend Marco D'Angelo would call a sandwich spot, a little letdown spot here for the Phoenix Suns. Rob, how about you, man? There are no Pelicans for you to choose here. So tell me, which one of these dogs are you going to go with?
Yeah, I mean, everything I was going to say is all shot to hell because Teddy went ahead of me. I tried the Pistons the other night, but I agree with everything he said. I mean, yeah, they're a lousy basketball team, but there can't be a better situation for these guys than right here tonight. Again, no Devin Booker, as he mentioned, and the Suns extended themselves to win that game the other night. Have to play Golden State again. I mean, again, I'll just sit here and repeat everything Teddy said, but I like the same game. I'll also go right back to what we said about the contrarian play and agree with Skee because I like the Spurs plus the 5. I know I'm betting into 9-1 against the spread or 9-2 against the spread at home, but to me, it's the right way to go. So take your choice, everybody watching here, Spurs or Pistons. Try one of those two.
Oh, I love it. All right, so we got dogs for Rob Veno here tonight. Well, maybe we'll see if they got a different tune here for best bet. So, Skee, 60 seconds on the clock, my man. 5 games on the board. Is there a side, a total, a prop? Tell us what your best bet tonight is.
No prop. And, I haven't seen Teddy in a while. It's been a while since I've been able to throw a little bit of jabs and stuff like that. So good to see you, Teddy.
Always fun, Skee, baby. Throw, baby. Yeah. Throw down. Let's throw down.
And just for the record, I'm going to be catching that knife with you, buddy. for my best bet, I'm going to go to Chicago and New York. And like I said, I think Chicago, they proved themselves enough to me. Like, I don't care if Kobe White's out. They did it without him. I don't care if Williams out. They've done it without him. They have Vucevic back. He's starting to get into a rhythm. And the record just proves himself. The thing that I said earlier, road favorites with more rest than their opponent, 1,246 and 613, 67% since 1995, 15-3 this season. Give me the Bulls in this game.
All right. Going Bulls at the Garden to get it done over the Knicks. All right, Teddy, falling knife and all here. Where are you looking on the card here for a best bet?
See, here's the problem, though, because it's not a falling knife because the Pistons have been covering numbers. They've covered 4 of their last 6. They're losing, but when I don't want to catch the falling knife, that's when the markets have a team badly mispriced and they keep losing ATS. That hasn't been the case for the Pistons. If you're watching this, do not buy my NBA tonight. You're getting it here for free. 1 service selection this evening, and that play is on the Milwaukee Bucks minus the 4. There are still plenty of books that have Milwaukee minus 4. The broader market is moving up. I'm seeing 4.5s out there. I'm seeing 5s out there. Frankly, I don't argue with the move, but but you want to make sure you get the best of the number. Find a 4 right now if you do like Milwaukee. And this is as much a fate of Toronto as any other factor. It's a Raptors team that's been getting clobbered at home. They have not stepped up in class well. The quotes off that team, I'm not going to read them off to you, but they're not a particularly confident squad right now. And the Bucks on the second of back-to-backs, last 2 times in this role. They've won by margin.
Yes. Yes. Love it. So there you go. You don't have to worry about it, guys. He's giving it to you right there. Number does seem a little short. The Milwaukee Bucks here, guys, against the Toronto Raptors. That means, Rob Veno, are you just going to pick what Skee and Teddy said again, or you have a best bet for? I'm just asking. I don't know. You just want to go? Go ahead. 60 seconds. Give it to us, Rob.
Here's what I'll do. Here's what I'll do just to stay in line with Skee and Teddy is I'll use this fallen knife reference, whatever the hell it means. I need Steve Merrill to break it down. But if the opposite of catching a fallen knife is, jumping on it and riding it, I'm going to jump on the knife and ride Oklahoma City and Memphis under first half, 108.5. OKC in the first half, last 15 games, only 2 overs out of those 15. 12-2-1 to the under. Just played last night against Houston, probably shot better than they've shot in a couple of weeks. And I don't expect it again. Memphis, obviously, without John Morant, a little bit less pace, a little bit more toward defense when you have Desmond Bane and Dylan Brooks running the show. So I think this game stays under, Joe. I think 108.5 is too high. Let's just see that Oklahoma City trend first half continue. Under 108.5 first half.
All right. Boom. Look at that. Couldn't wait to bring up the Oklahoma City Thunder, who lost last night to the red-hot Houston Rockets. Do I need to remind you guys of that? 4 in a row now for the Rockets. Don't get all crazy there, Robert. It ain't going to last. All right, guys, here we go. One more time. Let's take a look. Skee Profit. He going Spurs, 4.5 or 5. You better sprinkle a little something on the money line there as well. The Bulls -2 against the Knicks for his best bet. Teddy, he too likes the Pistons, who, by the way, 5 of their last 6 losses, 11 or fewer points, just going to say it. Best bet, though, Bucks -4 on the card against Toronto tonight. Rob Veno, he too is just going to agree with everything that Teddy and Skee just said there. He's looking at the Pistons and the Spurs to make him his dogs here tonight. And his best bet is going to be in the under, the first half under. Thunder Grizz here, 108.5. And our contrarian play of the day, we are looking at the Spurs to buck the trend, get the job done here against Portland in Portland there. Do not forget, guys, about the end-of-year special, $249 right now through December 31st. That'll give you an all-access pass to your favorite handicapper, whether it be Skee Profit, Teddy Covers, Rob Veno, every play, every sport through the end of this month, just $249, and that includes every 5% best bet that they have. You heard Teddy tell you he's already locked and loaded this weekend, 5% best bets. Rob Veno and, of course, Skee Profit, ready to go here, guys. So take advantage of it for $249 right now. Hurry up. Take advantage of the end-of-year deal. No coupon needed. Just head over to WagerTalk.com. And, of course, make plans to come back and join us again for the Friday edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show as we get you ready for a loaded card tomorrow heading into the weekend. So on behalf of Skee Profit, Teddy Covers, and Rob Veno, guy, we certainly appreciate you hanging with us here. Best of luck with the plays, and come back and join us again tomorrow. We'll talk to you then.
Founded in 1957, the Gold Sheet is the country's longest-running sports betting newsletter. Each week, the Gold Sheet team delivers analysis on NFL and college football games, along with NBA and college basketball matchups. The Gold Sheet maintains in-depth point spread and results logs, giving sports bettors and enthusiasts the insights needed to maximize their wagers. For over 60 years, Gold Sheet readers have received key releases based on power rankings on all teams, and for the first time ever, you can now get these selections exclusively at goldsheet.com, wagertalk.com, and sportsmemo.com.